Yeah, the man from Creed. NBA Straya, how are you going? Basketball, give me the ball, cause I'm gonna dunk it, yeah! Hope you're doing alright. TGIF, am I right? It is Friday, March 13. Ooh, spooky. This is NBA Straya. I am your host, James Clemens, here in Larry Armour Studios. Another record-breaking night in the NBA. We're going to talk about this one. SGA passes Wilt for the longest 20-plus point streak in NBA history. Luka dropped 51 on the Bulls. That was pretty good. And we're going to do our final month power rankings. It's basically our Friday power rankings, but it's heading into the final month of the season. We'll quickly wrap up today's games. We've got That's Not a Knife, Old Mate, No Mate, Spud of the Night, Better Lonzo, Balsam, Yeah, Nars, the unpopular opinion of the day, and Outback Takehouse are not going to be in today's show. We're just going to do the power rankings. Makes it a little bit easier, hopefully. We will do an Andrew Gaze Great Mamba Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. No prizes for guessing whom that is. And then we'll pick and preview some of the games tomorrow, which will be very fun. Nice. Good. You excited? Well, we're going to talk about my night last night in a second. I'm excited still. Let's get into it. Episode 1301 of NBA Straya. I ain't got no 361. Let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Darcy Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
You better. Or the ball attack if you're Sam Hauser, I'll tell you that much. Or the Luka attack if you're the Chicago Bulls. Or the Josh Giddey attack if you're the Lakers, because Gids went off again today, which was kind of fun. Anyway, lots going on today. So the ball attack is a big one as well because, as I said just then at the top, my night last night was very fun to a degree. I went to the footy, Carlton Richmond. I went because the Squid was playing at halftime. It was absolutely awesome. He's out there in the middle of the MCG, running around. He gets a handball. He's flying around. He's having a great time. Bang! Gets hit in the face by the footy. Oh, no. It was brutal. He's in tears out in the middle of the G, and I'm standing there on the sidelines watching, going, oh, I can't run on. And oh, God. Anyway, he was fine. He was up and about in like 2 seconds and was back soldiering. He soldiered on like an absolute trooper. But it was an awesome night for him. He had a great time playing out there, kicking the footy, watching the Blues, not so much. This is why I have to do a footy show. Footy Unfilterated just lets me go off. I'm just going, oh, God, I hate being a Carlton supporter. Which is one of the weird things, I guess, still about NBA Australia is that because the Seattle Supersonics don't exist anymore, as I've pointed out time and time again, I'm an equal opportunity hater and an equal opportunity booster of all these other teams out there, right? I have some of my favorites. I have some ones that I perhaps don't like as much.
The Lakers!
That's right. But still, it's kind of weird. And then I actually, get all passionate about the actual Blues and you just sitting on this sucks. God. I guess that's why I like going for the Boomers so much. Hey, let's do the daily whip around. Is it a whip around? Is it, Jim? Yes. Dwight Howard retired. Oh, isn't that nice? I did like that he was like smart enough to go, yeah, I think everybody else would have already said that, hasn't he already retired? It's like, yeah, I guess. That's how it goes sometimes. But Dwight, announces he's a retirement, and you're like, yes, it's funny because he hasn't played in the NBA for ages. Everyone's like sitting there going, yeah, I guess we all thought you'd retired anyway. And basically, I'm taking off the cape and retiring from all basketball to pour into my family and give back to communities worldwide. I know some of you might think I thought he already retired, but I didn't. The game retired me. I still had more left to give. Yeah, I did play professionally for 20 years. So I think Dwight Howard is one of those guys that helped define an epoch an era of NBA, for good and for worse. Because I was never much of a Dwight Howard fan. He ends up winning a title with the Lakers in 2020. So a Mickey Mouse title that he wins. You know, he's the first overall pick back in, what draft was he? Like 05? 04. Yeah, 04. It's like after LeBron, before Bogues. And was very, 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 very good. Right? He was also just wildly annoying and just thought he was way more interesting than he is. He did win, 3 Defensive Player of the Years? It's pretty good. But I feel like the Dwight Howard career will be remembered for just the weird shittery that went on after he left Orlando and the way that he left Orlando in his prime after going to a finals in 2009, putting up some pretty decent fights. It all just comes to a screeching halt. He goes to join that, now this is going to be fun, super duper Lakers team that falls apart as soon as you looked at it. It was there a year, and that's it. Goes to Houston to team up with Harden. That falls apart in a couple of years. He ends up then he just does the bounce around, right? Atlanta, Charlotte, the Washington year, lands back on the Lakers for that title in the bubble. Then he's on Philly. Then he finishes off again in 22 with the Lakers, and that's it. And so you sort of go, yeah, he's been an irrelevant basketball player basically since about 2014 as a superstar. But by the same token, it was electric when he was up and about. I still remember sitting in, I want to say, a sports bar, and he did the Superman dunk comp. And you're like, yeah, that's pretty good. It's also kind of corny, but that's Dwight in a sort of, nutshell, isn't it? He had 14.2 rebounds a game back in 2008, which is pretty crazy. He had averaged a 20 and 14. At the same time, there weren't too many good centers around in 2008. And that's also kind of the thing. When he was the dominant center, there were very few other sort of viable big man options out there to really combat him and sort of put him to work as, probably a hint undersized as a center. You obviously had Yao fall by the wayside. Bogut mangles his arm. You've got not a giant amount of other teams that really focused on the big man at that point, right before we had our big man revolution with Embiid and Jokic and everybody. But still, I don't know, Dwight, good career, wins a title, gloms on. Just a strange career. Strange career. Anyway, the news before we get into the big ones from today. Keontae George is out for a couple of weeks with a hammy. Day'Ron Sharpe is out for the season as well for the Brooklyn Nets. Pretty crazy. And the last little bit of news is that, there's little bits and bobs here and there about the Clippers and aspiration and that saga. However, they're going to be docked 3 first-rounders, $30 million, a whole bunch of stuff. Interesting to see what happens there. Very good job by Adam Silver of brushing this under the carpet and pretending like it never happened. So that's going to be fun when it actually does happen. Anyway, the other fun stuff today was the Heat played again. So Bam, and after, the first game back from his 83-point explosion, you got Spo fronting the media going, I apologize to absolutely no one, period. I love that from Spo. I love that he backed his dude in. And this is still kind of like my big point with this Bam 83-point thing. It's celebrating a non-traditional scorer who just had the night of his life. And if we just can't enjoy that, what are we doing? Basketball, it's chaos. He had 62 points through 3 quarters. Washington they were triple teaming him still down the stretch. Everybody just settle down. And he was just out there going, look, hey, man, Washington should have stopped me better. I don't know what to tell you. And this is kind of another big point about this. Washington are absolutely wildly culpable in all of this. And if you want to stop and have a whinge about all this sort of stuff, whinge about the Wizards being horrible at basketball. The bloody Generals, I'll tell you. There was I think a great tweet floating around saying that people will eat up first player to have 23 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 6 steals, and 2 blocks on 59% shooting with 0 turnovers. But want to put asterisks on the second most points in a game in NBA history. That's the world we live in. It's extremely stupid. Right, let's do some game wraps. Really quickly to today, the Sixers got smoked by Detroit 131-109. Phoenix smashed Indy in the end 123-108. They made that a bit interesting there for a second. Orlando only just snuck by Washington 136-131 in overtime. God, they're just the most frustrating team to watch, but they are rolling. Miami got into a spot of bother there against the Bucks, especially down the stretch. I think Giannis had a real big chance to tie it up. Misses, and then boom, they end up losing 112-105. Dallas curb stomped Memphis in the end, 120-112, because Chris Middleton goes off in the fourth quarter, drops 22 points in the fourth quarter. He had 35 overall, went 8 of 10 from three. It was amazing. Denver, San Antonio. What a game. 136-131. The Nuggets get the Spurs. This is a big thing as well, because I do believe the Spurs were 20-0, or 21-0, I think maybe, with a 20-point lead at any point of a game this season. They're now 21-1 because they were up by 20 and they lost. That's how that works. OKC Boston was an absolute belter as predicted on NBA Coffee Run this morning. 104-102. SGA, absolutely awesome. Just the shoulder shimmy, bang, and they get the free throws off the Caruso miss at the very end. It was a chaotic game. It was a very fun game. No Tatum for the Celtics. I wouldn't risk him against Lou Dort either. Just saying. But this was just neck and neck the entire fourth quarter. It was absolutely awesome. It's like the defense of the Celtics up against OKC, sort of all-round chaoticness. But you get the Chet free throws off the Caruso missed three to get the win. SGA just, the one that put them up 102-100 with like 30 seconds left was absolutely beautiful. And the Jaylen Brown response was just as good. It was great. So that was a really fun game. SGA, as I mentioned at the top, goes past Wilt for most consecutive 20-plus point games ever. We'll talk about that later. Absurd gear. And then Chicago Lakers. This one got interesting late as the Bulls came flying back. They're down like 22. They made it a game. Unfortunately, in the end, Josh Giddey and co. end up losing 142-130 because Luka dropped 51 on their head. Yeah, not bad. We'll start there with the NBA Straya proof performer of the night, shall we?
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
Yeah, that'd be Luka. He had 51. He shot the piss out of his way. He had 51, 10 and 9, went 9 of 14 from 3. And this is the thing. He goes 17 of 31 overall, 8 of 9 at the free throw line. And so this is what we talked about the other day when we're going, all right, so who feasibly could challenge Bam's 83, right? Or even challenge like Kobe's 81, which is less than 83. And Luka and Wemby are the ones that come to mind just because, yeah, Luka can hit the threes and get the free throws. Tonight he didn't really sort of get the sheer massive volume of free throws. 9's obviously a bit, but he shot the hell out of it. 9 threes helps a lot. 17 of 31. And when he's on one like that against a team that doesn't play defense like Chicago, he could easily drop a huge game again. And Wemby obviously didn't play today for the Spurs, nursing a sore left ankle, but yeah, it feels like he's got the package that could do the exact same sort of thing. It overshadowed Devin Booker's 43, 7 and 5. Awesome game for him as the Suns got by Indy. Jalen Green was good in that one too. Jamal Murray, 39 and 7 in the huge. He looked so good in that game against the absolute whirling devils of the Spurs backcourt. Stephon Castle had a triple-double, 30, 11 and 10. He was awesome. But Jamal Murray just hit some huge shots down the stretch. Cam Johnson hit his only 3 of the game in a massive spot as well. They ripped off this 14-0 run, the Nuggets, and in the fourth quarter and just stomped them, and Jamal Murray was a huge part of that. Jokic has a 31, 20, and 12. Holy crap. And Jamal has 39, 2, and 7. Awesome games for both of them, and Castle had the triple-double as well. Very good day of basketball. The 51 for Luka. I just love that Chicago Lakers uniform matchup though as well. The red and the gold, beautiful stuff. Right. Who was Spud of the night, though?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Spud of the night. We had a few Spuds. 2 of 12 for Calvin Johnson. Not great. 0 of 4 for Tim Hardaway the Lesser. Not great there either. Same with Johnny Cumbucket Kaminga in 19 minutes. 0 of 4. Not great, not great. 2 of 11 for Jaime Jaquez Jr. Not ideal. 3 of 14 for the rookie VJ Edgecombe and 1 of 11 for Trey Johnson, but we don't dump on the rookies too much. Corey Kispert goes 2 of 8. So did Case and Wallace. So did Dort. Psst, we need more Dort. Number plates. And I would very much like to thank, at the end of all of this, as it's all said and done, we've had a couple of days of 3-11 days throughout this week over in America. Very happy with this. Also, FYI, the Duckman went 1 of 7. But anyway, what a fitting tribute, though, to one of the great bands out there. On 3-11 week, we had 3 guys shoot 3 of 11. Alex Caruso, Christian Brown, and Jemai Mashak all went and shot. Oh, yeah. Chill. 3-11. You beauty. Not bad. Good size. The 1 of 7 for the Duckman as well. It's just, that's not great. How about Old Mate No Mates?
Old mate, no mates. Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no
Old mate, no
mates.
mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Old mate, no mates.
Who's got no mates today? I've got 2 for you today. Jalen Brown. He and Sam Hauser threw a movie night, which sounds absolutely horrible. I'm not going to lie. If they didn't watch The Town, we are missing a treat. It's like, oh, Jalen, I heard that we are watching The Town tonight at your movie night. Sorry, Coach Muzz. We're actually going to watch. I heard that we were watching The fucking Town, bro. And if you don't fucking put on The Town, bro, I might jiu-jitsu your head. It's like, all right, Coach, sorry. Yeah, we're putting on The Town. Is it on Netflix? Anyway, but Jalen Brown was also, they hosted this night. And they were like, so who do you not want to sit next to during a movie night? And the vast majority of the Celtics were like, Jalen Brown. He's a fucking know-it-all, and he won't shut up, and he's a pain in my ass. It's like, oh, okay. Old mate, no mates. Bit of a rough one there. Oh, it's Jalen Brown's team now. They all love it. Yes, there was all a bit of a joke, but still. The other one was the cameraman who absolutely wanged the ref Sheree Mitchell. So she's running down the court. The fucking camera bloke is just sitting there filming someone courtside while the play is going on and wangs her in the back of the fucking head. Yeah, that's a stern reprimand, that one, isn't it? Fucking hell, it looks like she copped it hard. It was brutal. She stayed in the game for the last bit, but Jesus. Come on, camera guys, we're going to know this a little bit better. Pantsing of the night. Oh, Sam Hauser. This was an absolute pantsing. Well, it's a pantsing on name as Cater because Chet fucking yammed one over the top of him. But Hauser was a standing, like just bystander as Chet goes up and dunks on Cater. And the ball goes through the basket, kind of whips off out through the bucket and into his face. Just boing. And it's what happened to the squid last night with the footy and got him all teary and upset. And I'm just watching going, I'm doing this. I'm like doing the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I was like, oh, that's what happened to the squid. Oh. Brutal. Sam Hauser, he kind of looks like him too. Anyway, better than Lonzo Ball, Bronny James, Ben Simmons.
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. He's coming for everybody.
Coming for everybody. Had a couple of good ones today. Pele Larson, 28, 6 and 6. He hit some big shots late as well that got them over the top of the Bucks. As I mentioned, Giannis missed a shot. Pele goes back and goes whack. But Bilal Coulibaly, I love a bit of Bilal. Career high 29, 5 and 5, but forces overtime against the Magic because in their esteemed defensive system, apparently the Magic's plan for dealing with an end-of-game situation up 3 was to just let the opposition walk into an uncontested 3. And that's what Koulibaly did. He just literally got the ball, walked up the court. No one checked him. And he just went, okay, and shot the three, hit it, and we went to overtime. It was so dumb. The Magic, they're so frustrating. What are you doing, you idiots? Anyway, there you go. Pele Larson, Bilal Koulibaly. You love to see it. Honourable mention, probably Lockie Olbrich as well, with 4 points, 1 assist as well today, and a block. Not bad. But it is Friday. Let's do a bit of a Magic tweet of the week. Oh, yeah. I want to congratulate Miami Heat star Bam Adebayo on scoring 83 points last night against the Washington Wizards, the second highest scoring game in NBA history behind Wilt Chamberlain, brackets 100 points, and passing Lakers legend and hero, the beloved Kobe Bryant, who scored 81 points. Okay, thanks, Magic. I'm glad we got the details there. That's all that mattered. Finally, Dickhead of the Week.
Dickhead of the Week.
Oh, I kind of want to start a new award called the Lou Dort I'm Sorry I Hit You in the Face Again award. The winner of that this week would be Lou Dort. Also, Dickhead of the Week. Because, look, I'm all here for competition and competitive spirit and just, being aggressive on defense. Then there's just being a dickhead. And Lou Dort is a dickhead, isn't he? Like the tripping, the flailing, Harris Andrewsing bloody Jokic the other day. Just at some point you're going to go, oh, nah, you're fucked, mate. What are you doing? Quit it. Like if a mate of yours was doing that in a game of pickup that you were playing, you'd be like, you fucking pull your head in, dickhead. Just settle the fuck down, mate. Right? And if an opposition guy was doing that, you'd probably want to fucking fight him. So, who's the dickhead here? Lou Dort, pull your fucking head in. All right, let's do some power rankings right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
and you're
Straya.
listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
Let's do it. Usually do Nars here, but we're going to do power rankings today just under all this. Because I just wanted to hit on all 30 teams as we sort of head into this final month of the NBA season. Because it's fun. So this is brought to you by you. That's right. You can help out the show. Go buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. It's very simple, isn't it? Basically, this is our Patreon. Because you can shout us a tin, shout us a coffee for once a month, and you get a bunch of free extra stuff as well. So go check it out. Buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. Good times there. Very fun. Appreciate you. You can join the Dead Set Legends Club. We're working on this month's one right now. It's going to be very fun. It's very exciting. And if you've got any other ideas of just like evergreen shows that you want me to do, where I just basically sit there and talk it out for like an hour or so as exclusive content, just shout out. Let me know. I will happily have a crack. I got nothing better to do. So help keep the lights on and support the pirate ship. Buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya. Right. Time for some power rankings. So I do have the graphic. So if you're watching on the YouTube, you can see that. I might end up doing a short video for this today, but I'm also just running out of time. It's been a long day because we didn't get home from the footy until super late last night because the game was stupidly close because of stupid Carlton. But the baby squid went with old mate, and he was like obviously just made it to halftime and was absolutely cooked. And they missed the train home, so he had to hang out there for a little bit longer. But anyway, by the time the squid and I got home, he was absolutely cookerated. And I guess it was like a little bit after 11, and you're like, yeah, this is the weeknight footy is bad dad territory. It's like you're on the train home, and he's the only one who's a kid, and you're like, yeah, I feel like a pretty I don't know, bad parent here. But anyway, it's all good. He learned it. He loved it. He had a great time. Hey, let's start at the bottom of the power rankings. This tier is called Let a Bloke Score 83 Points on Them. That would be the Washington Wizards. Better known as the Washington Generals at this point. They're currently 16-49. They've lost 10 on the trot, and they let a guy score 83 points on them. So for all the talk about Bam's 83, like the Washington Wizards of 2026 will also go down the same way as the 2006 Raptors as the team that allowed someone to drop a giant fucking egg on them. So, yeah, Washington are horrible. Sorry, not sorry. They're the fucking worst. 10 straight losses. Next up, punching the dick bad. We've gone back to punching the dick bad because like all of these teams are punching the dick bad. And I sort of had like a little hint of a premonition and like moved the Bulls out of this tier this morning. And then they repaid the faith by playing pretty decent basketball against the Lakers. Anyway, at the end of the punching the dick bad tier, so at number 29, we have your Indiana Pacers. They are real fucking rough to watch. They are punching the dick bad. Like, to at least the point where the Kings, the Nets, the Wizards, and the Pacers who are all now eliminated from the playoff contention, which is okay. But the Kings at least have some, semblance of NBA players. They suck. It sucks watching them. The Pacers, when they sort of roll out some of their dudes, whatever, but it keeps getting that little bit worse and worse each time you watch them. Today, Zoob's played, and you're like, this is good. They still got their ass kicked, 123-108. But when it's like Kobe Brown, Ethan Thompson, along with Jarris Walker and Andy Nemhard and Zoobs, you're like, it's rough fucking hours, I'll tell you, watching the Pacers. So, yeah, they've got 29 ahead, behind, I guess. Sacramento, who just every so often will play a game and you're like, it's about time you did something, not shit. Like they beat the Pacers the other day. They beat the Bulls the other day in the John Salmon Bowl, remember? But they've like at least remember that Devin Carter exists, which is good. They've got Maxi Reynaud, who I absolutely love. They've got Rusty and DeMar. Nick Clifford, I like watching him as well. So they're not as bad. Brooklyn, I've got it at 27. It's because they actually won a game the other day against the Detroit Basketball Pistons. But after what we saw today from Brooklyn, where they just completely spaced out on defense and Jalen Johnson was quite literally dribbling the ball up. Danny Wolf, I think, just left him. No switch came, so Jalen Johnson just went straight through for a layup, uncontested. Yeah, it was a bit fucking horrible. Anyway, at least the Nets have won 2 of their last 10 games. The Wizards and the Pacers have not. And the Kings are just execrable. So we've got the Nets there. And then at 26, it's still the Utah Jazz. Why did they move up, Jim? Well, they've just got a couple of these games every so often where they don't suck as much as the other teams. Right? But now they've lost Keontae George. Like they beat I was watching that Warriors game the other day and it was so chaotic. But they got their ass kicked in the Jordan Jeremy Clarkson like revenge tribute game. But Sensabaugh and co, they're doing their thing. They do still, however, suck massively and they are punching the dick bag. But I mean, you do get to see more Ace Bailey. It's fine. They're all these teams. These bottom 5 teams are so fucking bad that it just breaks your brain. The shit but trying tier. So these are all the teams that are just still shit. But if you tune in, like they might try. Right. At number 25, your Chicago Bulls. They got got beaten by the Lakers today. But when Giddy's out there, I think my biggest problem with this Bulls team is what the fuck are they doing? Right? Is there any cohesive plan, do you think? Because from on the outside looking in, the answer is no, Jim, there is not. They're 27-39. It's like they realized, fuck, we should tank. And then they realized, fuck, we've left it too late and we can't tank hard enough for the other teams to catch us because we've got like 4 more wins than like the teams beneath us in the West, of which there are 5, and there are 3 in the East who are worse than us as well, we've cooked it. And the Bulls are just clearly zero fucking idea what they're doing as a organization. But you watch a game like today against the Lakers, and you're like, this is kind of fun. You get to see the Buzelis, Miller, Josh Giddey sort of triumvirate, and you're like, this isn't as bad as it could be. They are shit, but they are trying, right? You get to see Yuki Kawamura up against Rui Hachimura. You're like, this is awesome. Leonard Miller is who I was trying to say before. Leonard Miller, weirdly solid. Jalen Smith, still as dumb as a bag of rocks, but I mean, his basketball IQ is bag of rocks. I don't know him personally, but that's how he plays basketball. So, Bulls, 25. 24, Memphis. They are trying. They are just shit. Like, they've got all the young dudes. They're rolling him out there. Ty Jerome is just like, all right, so when I do play, this is going to be awesome, and I'll be awesome. I love Ty Jerome. I've got them at 24. And then you got Dallas at 23 and the Milwaukee Bucks. It's not Algonquin for the good land because they can't win games. They are trying. And every so often, like you saw Dallas today with Chris Middleton going off and beating Memphis, which is, Dallas are ahead of them, so it makes sense. But Cooper Flagg's out there, Max Christie, you've got Najee Marshall, you've got PJ Washington, you've got Dan Gafford. Like, they're trying. They should be tanking even harder than they are. They're 22 and 44, but still. Ethical tanking, I guess. And the same sort of goes for the Bucks. Like, they've got Giannis out there, and they're like, hey, Giannis, is this convincing you to stay? And he's like,
No, it is not very much at all. I do not like this losing. It is bullshit.
And you're like, okay, Giannis.
He's like, why am I playing with fucking Kyle Kuzma?
The Miles Turner experiment is one of the fucking... Who could have seen this coming except for everybody, right? Miles Turner plays with an awesome, awesome point guard with Tyrese Halliburton in Indy. They go to the finals. He plays his role perfectly. You give him Kevin Porter Jr. as his point guard, and guess what? Not as good. Who could have seen that? Anyway, but the Bucks, like Giannis today, had 31, 6, and 3. And they were right there against Miami, but they still fell apart because they're shit. That team sucks ass. So they're at 22. Number 21 in a new tier that is just simply called Woof. I love this tier. The New Orleans Pelicans, who are trying their little hearts out. You get to see the sick game against the Raptors the other day with Zion doing a sick windmill dunk. It was fun. They've gone 7-3 in their last 10 games, the New Orleans Pelicans. That's why they're out of the shit but trying tier, because they've actually won a bunch of these fucking games. And they're trying hard. They're just in woof because it's like, woof, what is this team? The Pels are going to continue to try. And they are only like 2 games behind the Grizzlies out of the 11 spot. And they just sort of want to keep on building. They've ripped off wins against like the shit teams, right? So in this little run, they have beaten the Sixers, the Warriors, the Jazz, the Kings, the Wizards, and the Raptors. That's good. They should beat those teams. They had to have beaten those teams all year. Who knows what the fuck would have been going on. But anyway, Trey Murphy, DeJounte Murray. The DeJounte Murray standover, Jamal Shed was amazing yesterday. I mentioned that on the little show. It was absolutely worth the technical. But they were battling mano-a-mano. It was fucking awesome. DeJounte crossed him up, tried to them. Jamal Shed was right there in his shit, right up in his shit. And then he finally crosses him one extra time, and Jamal Shed goes one way, and his head went that way, and his body went that way. Are you with HBA? Shed might need to be. DeJounte hits the shot, stands over him going, damn! It was awesome, totally worth the tech. But the Pels, they are trying, and they're not that shit. So they're in the woof tier behind your Golden State Warriors, who just quietly real fucking bad. They are, and they're not much fun to watch. It's like, this is a lot of Gui Santos, bro. Oh good, more pods. Hooray for Bademski. It's like, oh good, Draymond, old ass Draymond who can't do much anymore. It's a bit of a punish. That's why they're in the woof tier. They've lost 3 on the trot. They've now dropped to the 9 seed. They are only 1.5 games up on the Portland Trail Blazers out of 10. So just saying. It's not so great. So they are at 20. Number 19 is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6s. But Jim, they're not that bad. They're 35 and 30. They've got no players left. Embiid is out. Paul George is out. Max is out for 3 more weeks. VJ Edgecombe's the only one out there doing much. Kelly Oubre is out for a couple of weeks with his bung elbow. They're fucked. To the point where, they're only a game and a half up on the Hornets out of the 10 spot. So I fully expect the Sixers to be your 10 seed in the play-in tournament. Absolute wolf territories. And I love the Sixers. But this is, I think, the most frustrating thing, and Sixers fans will probably agree with me here. The most fucking frustrating part about all of this shit is that if you had not traded Jared McCain, just don't trade him. These wolf territories would be much more in the lookout or in one of the other tiers ahead of it where you're like, this is still passable. They've got McCain. Look, he is fucking cut. Well, he didn't have a great game today for OKC, but he hit a big 3 late where it's like, oh shit, Jared McCain, baby. And if he was just in charge of this Sixers offense, fuck, it'd be way more fun. But Daryl Morey is a brain genius who's never won anything. So yeah, we've got to remember that he's awesome. Just look at that Sixers roster he's constructed. It's fucking dog shit. So yeah, Daryl Morey, what are you doing, mate? Anyway, so the Sixers are right there in 19. And number 18, dropping like a stone, your Toronto Raptors. Yeesh. It feels like the shine is off completely. They've got a big game tomorrow, which I'll talk about later in the previews. But they've lost 2 on the trot. They've only won 4 of their last 10. And they're only 1.5 game clear of the Atlanta Hawks in the 7 spot. So they've dropped out. They were in the top 5 pretty solidly for the last forever. They're only 1 game back out of the 5, but Orlando and Miami are playing way better than Toronto right now. And the Raptors, literally, we're just getting to the point where it's like, are you gonna beat a good team ever again? And it's a bit of a worry there, Jim. It's a bit of a worry because they just lost to the Pelicans, right? As I mentioned before. Lost to the Rockets, beat the Mavs. Mavs are 22 and 44. Lost to the Wolves, lost to the Knicks. Beat the Wizards. They're fucking horrible. Lost to the Spurs, lost to the Thunder. Beat the Bucks, beat the Bulls. Both are in the shit but trying tier. Lost to the Pistons, good team. Beat the Pacers, beat the Bulls. Lost to the Wolves, beat the Jazz again. Lost to the Magic, lost to the Knicks. Beat the Thunder in that fucking crazy game in OKC a little while ago. Beat the Trailblazers, who are right there as well, but also still under 500, just saying. So you go all the way back to that's a long time ago. Kings, Warriors, they beat those 2 games. They lost to the Lakers, lost to the Clippers, beat the Pacers, lost to the Sixers. You just keep going back, right? With all that said, they've got a huge game against the Suns tomorrow, which, oh boy, that's like fucking Spider-Man meme almost. It's like, can you play hard? See what happens. Fascinating game. Your Toronto Raptors. Feels like they should be better than they are. They're beating the bad teams. Can't beat a good team. With Quickly, Ingram, Scotty, RJ, all back and playing. Teenage Mutant Jakob Poeltl. It's all happening. It's all happening, but it's just not working. They need Calamari Boyles back. That's what's... the good but bad tier. Portland's right there, right? So they're good, but they are also bad. Now they've got Denny Avdia back. Very happy with that. They've sort of they're an interesting team because every game it feels like they could be in. They could also lose it by 35 or they could win it by 22. It's a very strange situation for Blazers fans. Scoot's been balling. You've got Giroux back at times. Denny is now back, so I feel like their runway for this last month, and this is why it's good to do these power rankings all the time. They've won, they've just lost that Hornets game the other day, which is really, really rough. But Jeremiah, Grant, Tamani Kamara, Denny, they've got most of their dudes. They're good, but they are bad at the moment. Same goes for the Suns. They're good, but they're better than Portland. But they're also a bit bad. Every so often you're like, what was that? But then today, smashed Indy, feeling good about that. Jalen Green and Booker It's pretty funny because they've barely sort of missed the they missed Dylan Brooks for a little bit, and then Jalen Green went, wait a minute, I'm better than Dylan Brooks. What are we doing? And off they go. Devin Booker's been fantastic. So they're good, but I'm still questions. Atlanta are right here in 15. They're absolutely flying. And you might wonder, Jim, why do you have the Hornets above them? Well, the Hawks have won 8 straight. They didn't have Dyson today. Still managed to pull out the win. The tricky part is, I mean, they're good, but they are like they've won 8 on the trot. It's like the most that they've won in 6 years straight, which is crazy. But they do still kind of suck just a little bit. And you can't trust them. But they are good. But they are bad. It's the Atlanta Hawks. Like a tradition like no other. To the point where, as we were saying the other day, like they're 35-31 now. They were there at 31-31, perfectly balanced, the full Thanos meme. But now 35-31, feeling good, feeling great, but they are still just a bit bad, aren't they? The lookout tier, number 14, we've got the Charlotte Hornets. They were the greatest team ever. They've now won 2 more on the trot, though. They're flying back up. They're still above 500, 34-33. They beat the Blazers in a really, really fun game. Then got by the Kings pretty handily. They've got a massive game against the Spurs in a couple of days, which will be very fun. But the Hornets, so much of their thing just simply comes down to staying healthy, keeping their dudes out there, and off they go. The Heat and the Magic are the next two here at 13 and 14, right? So, 13 and 12. So Miami's at 13, Orlando's at 12. The Magic pulled the win out of their ass against the Wizards today. They've won 6 on the trot. Miami's won 7 on the trot, and Bam scored 83 points against the Washington Wizards. You might have heard about that one. It's pretty good. Why have I got the Magic ahead of the Heat? It sort of feels like Miami's defense has gotten to a point where it's like, fuck, that's pretty terrifying. But the flip side for me is that the Magic, Bane and Paolo Banchero, have just been balling out of their fucking brains. It would not surprise me if Miami overtake Orlando because Orlando don't have Anthony Black. Franz Wagner, hello. We don't know when he's going to be back. Feels like, though, for the minute, they're playing a hint better than Miami. Just saying. They've ripped off wins over the Wolves and the Cavs in this stretch as well. A couple of good quality wins in there. They just snuck by the Wiz. I just really like them. So I've got them at 12, Miami at 13. The Bam stuff was awesome. Good win today over the Bucks, but I can't put them above Orlando right now. Then the final team in the lookout tier, your LA Clippers. Oh, jeez. Yeah. So Kawhi's pretty good. That 153-128 drubbing of the Wolves they had yesterday was absolutely off its head. Darius Rucker, Judy Garland looks awesome. They've just got weapons just popping up here and there. Benny Mathurin coming off the bench. They're 33-32 now, which is crazy because for a minute there, it looked like for a minute there, they were going to give the number 1 pick to the Thunder. Right? So that would have been bad. They're now 33-32 and a terrifying to a degree, playoff sleeper because they're in the 8th seed. I would absolutely trust them to get by a Suns team in a play-in game and be the 7th seed. The Spurs against the Clippers, fascinating. That'd be a real interesting one. OKC would probably wax them. We get it. But the Clippers, I'm just saying, look out. Kawhi, of all the sort of weird superstars out there in the NBA, he sort of just, there was a fight on the court the other day and he's like, oh yeah, cool, a fight, whatever. Like nothing gets into his big, thick skull. Except me play basketball, good man. Like, he's an android. This is how this works. Kickass.exe, right? That's what he's doing. They've won 3 on the trot. They're awesome. The win over the Wolves is fucking massive. I've got them 11 now. Look out. Look out. Number 10. This was called the all have 40 wins tier, but they all have 41 or 40 wins now. Because They're all basically tied in the middle between 3 through 6 in the West. The Lakers were at the bottom of this one now, but they're now the 3 seed after winning today. By virtue of, I think, conference record, they're 27-16 against the rest of the West. But on their they beat the Wolves the other day. Awesome. We should probably bump the Wolves down to 10. But according to my logic from last week, there are 9 teams that can win the NBA title. The Lakers are not one of them. So I didn't want to put them in that top 9 because it just makes me feel weird in my pants. So we're going to put the Lakers there. Luka, if he's playing like a fucking, I'm just an ex-con trying to go straight and get my kids back, which is what he's trying to do at the moment with this weird fucking custody battle shit. All he's doing is balling out. And this is a bit of a dangerous moment, I reckon. Because if his entire fucking thing is I'm just going to release all my fucking frustrations at everything else in my life out on the basketball court. No one's brought up the fact that he's looking fucking skinny again either. I'm just saying. Go check it out. Anyway, the Lakers are a little bit terrifying. The weird thing is they probably should be bringing LeBron off the bench, but they'll never do that because he's a fucking psycho. But here we are. 41-25. The Lakers are the 10 spot for me in the power rankings. Because I think with everything else on the line, every other team in front of them could beat them. Would they give themselves a puncher's chance? Yes, but I don't think their defense is just good enough. It's yeah, you beat the Bulls today. Good on you. But that Wolves win was fucking legit. So anyway, next up though, at number 9, I do have the Wolves. So they've dropped to the 6th seed right now because of that. They're 40-26. And they've lost 3 straight. It feels like they might have contracted a real case of New York Knicksivitis. Right? Because all these teams, and we've heard this time and time again, Greg Popovich talking about fucking seasons are long and you'll play just 8 dog shit games, 8 amazing games and that sort of stuff. And it feels like the Wolves are just going through that little bit of a swoon. Ant-Man can't hit a shot. Randall can't do shit. They can't stop anybody. They gave up 119 to the Magic, 120 to the Lakers, and 153 to the Clippers in this little stretch. And so that came after beating the Clippers, beating the Nuggets, beating the Grizz, and beating the Raptors. And you're oh, just a little bit of a dip. I think the Wolves will be okay, but yeah, they're at the bottom of my contenders tier, basically. But in the all have 41 wins, they're in that tier. The Rockets are ahead of them as well. And then I've got Denver, right? So with Denver have bumped back up into the 7 spot behind the top 6. They could probably jump ahead of the Cavs because the Cavs, for my mind, haven't been probably quite as terrifying as the Nugs. But both teams have only gone 5-5 in their last 10. So that split between 6 and 7 is kind of I wanted to keep the East teams in the pretty good tier and all have 40 wins and between 3 and 6 in the West tier together. So the Rockets I don't know what's going on with that team. Does anybody know what's going on? 40-25. They have some of the weirdest fucking losses you'll see. They got curb stomped by Denver. And that's obviously why Denver are ahead of them in this tier. 129-98. 129-93 yesterday. It was absolutely crazy. After they got their ass kicked by the Spurs last week, they beat the Raptors in between. But the Rockets, they're just... Something's off. I don't know if it's Ime Udoka's inability to change shit on the fly. He just doesn't want to. He's I trust my fucking system. It's all right, don't root anyone's wife, bro. So I've got the Rockets behind the Nugs. The Nugs, Jokic, Jamal, the way they've played these last 2 games, I could put them almost 4th. But the Celtics have also played awesome. The Knicks, maybe not so much. But this is how wobbly these power rankings are because I've got them at 7 at the moment. After that win today, we could probably bump them all the way back up to probably 5th. So I reckon I could probably shuffle the Cavs and the Knicks back behind the Nugs. Still, only 5-5 in the last 10. Same with Cleveland. That's right. Cleveland. Harden looks good, though. A couple of teams that are sort of, doing these weird, they lose to the Cavs the other day, but they are 40-26, Cleveland. And, lose to the Celtics. I just need to see another, they beat the Pistons last week. That was the big scalp that sort of boosted them back up into the real, oh shit, sort of tier. just a little bit of sort of get it pointed in the right direction, they'll be fine. They play the Mavs, I think, tomorrow. So it'll be a real fascinating one, but they're still in the pretty good tier. Same with the Knicks in the pretty good tier because smoked the Jazz, but again, they came after 2 bad losses in LA to the Clippers and the Lakers. I think they'll be fine. As long as they're still healthy, they're all good. They're still pretty good. The win over the Nugs the other day, massive, right? They kicked the shit out of them at the start of the week. So that's why they're in the pretty good tier. But I probably have the Nugs ahead of them now at the end of this week. So we'll bump them back to 6. We'll put Denver in at 5. And the final team in the pretty good tier is the Boston Celtics. They get Tatum back. They lose 2 straight games here to very good teams. You know, OKC, Spurs, pretty good teams because they're in the really bloody good tier. But the way they dealt with the Cavs, the way they dealt with the Mavs, they're really pretty good. And those two games that they lost, they could have almost beaten the Thunder just then today. Obviously, they didn't, but they're still very, very, very good. Boston, the permutations that they can roll out there, like the defense, the shooting. Now you add Tatum back into the mix. It'll take a little while for it to sort itself out, see what he can and can't do, but they are still pretty good. And the really bloody good tier, the Detroit basketballing Pistons. They didn't need much from Cade today to kick the absolute living shit out of Philly. And it's good because they just need to get a couple of wins back under their belt after the 4-game losing streak that they went on. But they beat the piss out of the Nets by 38 and then the Sixers by 20-something. So, not bad. Good size. The Pistons' lack of a secondary creator still pisses me off. It's just shit, but they are really bloody good because they're bigger than you. They're going to hurt you. They're going to try to bash you. And I kind of just appreciate and respect it. So they're at number 3 in the really bloody good tier. Then I've got the Thunder still at 2. I can't let them... I came so close to going, the Thunder just beat the bloody... Celtics today, and then the Spurs, I don't know, they blew a 20-point lead to Denver. And I kind of still think that the Spurs right now, still just that hint better than OKC. Right? The Spurs came off wins over the Celtics, the Rockets, the Clippers, and the Pistons, and you're like, oh, that was really good. Whereas the Thunder, so we're now going a little bit of strength of schedule kind of vibes. Whereas the Thunder just beat the Celtics, very good, obviously. The Nuggets in a crazy one. The Warriors, the Knicks, the Bulls, the Mavs, the Nuggets again. It is really hard to split these two teams right now. I think I'm going to have to bump the Oklahoma City Thunder back up to number 1. It's brutal, isn't it? 52-15. They've won 7 on the trot. SGA's breaking records. And they don't even have J-Dub, right? The Spurs didn't have Wemby today. I've still got to dock them for the loss, though. Thunder, that was a huge win over the Celtics. So Thunder are back at number 1, baby. And there you go. Those are your last month Friday power rankings. 1 month to go. Friday power rankings, as it were. Let us know what you reckon. Right, let's do a quick Australian player watch. Because we had a couple of Aussies out there today. It was good to see Gids. He loves crushing the Lakers. 27, 15, and 8 today with 2 steals, 6 turnovers, but that's all right. You get that on the big jobs. 10 of 17 shooting and 6 of 9 from 3. They did end up losing, but it wasn't because of Gids. And Lockie Olbrick got 6 minutes out there as well. That was awesome. 4 points, 2 of 2 from the floor, 1 assist, 1 block, and 2 turnovers. On ya, Lockie. For the Atlanta Hawks, no Dyson Daniels today, out with a big toe injury. Hopefully it's not too bad. Jock Landale played 13 minutes against Brooklyn. He had 4 points, shot 2 of 5, 0 of 1 from 3, and 0 of 2 at the free throw line. Come on, Jock. Hit your free throws. 2 rebounds, 1 turnover. But for all of that, he was a +3. So good job, Jock Landale. All right, Andrew Gay's Great Mamba Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence. Andrew Gay's Great Mamba. Outstanding achievement in the field of Excellent. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We talked about him winning the MVP already this week with his game winner, or 2 game winners basically, against the Nugs. 127 straight games with 20-plus points scored. Absolutely incredible. Goes past Wilt. The last time SGA didn't score 20 in a game was October 30, 2024. It's nearly 2 full fucking seasons. And he scored 18 in that game against the Spurs. Absolutely incredible. He did have a game where like 4 or 5 games before that where he didn't hit 20 again, but Jesus. And it's just one of those things. The same with Bam going past Kobe this week with the 83 versus the 81. SGA going 127 straight games, scoring 20 plus. The scope of history at the moment, right now, is so fucking, we've got to be blah, 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 blah. I mean, fucking, I do a daily show, right? Like, you're sort of a prisoner of the moment all the time. And it's really hard just to sort of zoom back out and look at this and like really truly appreciate how fucking hard that is. Like 127 straight games of 20 plus points. Mr. Consistent. Like that has to be his nickname. That's just fucking lock and load. Absolutely amazing stuff. Great job, SGA. Probably another MVP coming for the mantelpiece. All right, how about some game previews for tomorrow? Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane.
Not a problem, Jim. I wasn't even Bane just then.
I know. Paddy is doing, some good social media gear because he's got a new team out there, which is kind of fun. Tenerife. There you go, Paddy Mills. En Preventa Player Edition. Paddy Mills 88. Oh, look, that's a nice looking jersey, actually. Don't know if you can see that. It's good. Still run through a wall from our Paddy. Right, let's do some game previews for tomorrow then. Game previews again. Well, the Paddy Mills Game Day Baller Game Day Twitter check-in was pretty good. The game previews for tomorrow, real interesting ones, right? So you can find all of our picks over at Dabble. We are still crushing it this year, just so make sure you're following them. The link is in our show description or our social bios. Go hit them up. You can find them all there. So tomorrow I've got Memphis at Detroit. Now remember, the tanking teams, you can't really make that line high enough a lot of the time. Unless the other team's like on a back-to-back like we saw today with Orlando, which I think on yesterday's show I did tip Washington. I can't remember if I put them in Dabble, but anyway, I think I did. Atlanta just missed out on covering against the Nets because the Hawks are just silly. But anyway, I'm going to go Detroit minus 15.5 against the Grizzlies. They might have a little bit of trouble here and there, but I think defensively they'll just clamp those Grizz. Knicks at Indy, that's 11.5 point favorites for the Knickerbockers of New York City. I think I'll take that as well because as I mentioned earlier, the Pacers are just, it's a lot of not very good dudes on that team right now. And the Knicks need to keep just smashing teams. And look, this is a Reggie Miller, Spike Lee bowl. The Knicks really need to get a couple of smashings under their belt again. So I reckon they'll get that. They had a good one against Utah. I think they'll keep on rolling. Phoenix at Toronto. Awesome game. I mentioned this earlier. Talking about Toronto, they don't beat good teams. Toronto at home, a little bit different, I think, to Toronto on the road. Phoenix, a good team, though. Booker, Jalen Green on a back-to-back. Can Toronto actually get this one done? Maybe. I'm going to take the Phoenix Suns plus 3.5. Would not surprise me if Toronto win a really close one, though. Cleveland at Dallas. As I mentioned, this is a fascinating game for the Cavs. Need a big win here. They are 12.5 point favorites against the Mavs in Dallas, which is a bit how you're going, but the Dallas Mavericks are on a back-to-back, just played Memphis. I expect the size of Cleveland just to sort of dominate them between Harden and Mitchell as well. I don't think they'll be able to keep up. So I'm going to go the Cavs minus 12.5. New Orleans at Houston. Rough scenes here for the Rockets. I'm going to take the Pelicans plus 7.5. I think the Rockets might win this one, but I think the Pels will make them work for it. Minnesota go to Golden State. They're 6.5 point favorites on the road against the Warriors. The Wolves have been playing so bad. I think I want to trust them to bounce back. I feel like I don't know if I've picked any Minnesota game correctly this year. They're so mercurial. It's ridiculous. I'm going to take the minus 6.5 though. Let's go Wolves. Portland against Utah. No love lost here between these two teams. I'm going to take the Blazers minus 14.5 against the Yaz. It's a soft J. No Keontae George. Portland just need to keep some, get some wins here. And then the Clippers against the Chicago Bulls on a back-to-back. And LA back-to-back. It's proven to be pretty tough the last few weeks. Minnesota have just run afoul of it. The Knicks as well. The Bulls, I think, are the latest one to go back-to-back L. So I'm going to go the Clippers minus 12.5 against Giddy's Bulls. And that'll be pretty fun. But there you go. That is it for the week. I'm going to go to the Phoenix game tomorrow as well. Phoenix Sixers. So if you're going to be there at John Cain Arena, come say good day. It'll just be me and the Squid again, hanging out, just watching some hoops. It'll be really fun. So come say hi. If you're going to be at the NBL, I'll be there. But we'll be back on Monday. So no Sunday night show again this week because I've got pub cricket on Sunday and, I don't know, likely to be very, very drunk. And nobody needs a drunk gym show again. And actually, there won't be one either the next week because we've got our big day not out of pub cricket. So, we'll just go back to doing a big Monday show, wrap up the weekend for you. So make sure you're following NBA Straya on Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, and YouTube. Jump in the comments. Send through some YNRs. I need more YNRs. Hit us up. Any questions you want me to answer, I'll get into them. Send through some ideas for the Dead Set Legends Club as well. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/NBA Straya, join the Dead Set Legends Club, and then you get to basically have me do whatever the fuck you want me to, which is always good. Get Around Footy Unfilterated. That's my new footy show with my mate Jez. I absolutely love doing footy shows. Love just talking footy because, boy, do I need a fucking outlet to complain about Carlton. God damn it. Anyway, go subscribe to Footy Unfilterated on YouTube and, across all your podcast apps. And same with Jim Does Supercoach. Having a crack with that show on AFL Supercoach, which has been very fun. A bit more fraught than your NBA and NFL, which I obviously know inside out. AFL, I do know, and like a lot of the players and stuff, it's basically sort of trying to skirt around the edges of like filling in the gaps in my knowledge, making sure we're all good. So it's very fun. So Jim Does Supercoach as well. Go follow that. Basically, follow all of the shows on your podcast app, on YouTube, on the socials. Help a brother out. And also, you can, find our picks at Dabble, all that sort of good stuff. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. Check out House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinated Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, who have got a gig on May 8th. Should be Australia Day, mate. With the Porkers at the Bendy. That'll be fun. iOS, Section A, Green, and Dozers. They're buying all the tunes you hear. Smash them on your music streaming platform of choice. And that's it. We'll probably chuck a old-timey Cooking with Bainesy on the back of this one for you for your weekend. Have a great weekend. We will catch you on Monday, you dickheads. I'll see you at the basketball tomorrow if you're in Melbourne. Phoenix Sixers for all the marbles. Should be a good one. Bryce Cotton, Sobey. Can't wait. Should do an NBL Straya, shouldn't I? I just don't have enough time, man. Tell the NBL to hire me. That'll be good. All right, this is NBA Straya saying look after yourselves, would ya? And later, hosen.
Throughout sea, splits the sea.